Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not look away from this screen. This is not the algorithm playing a random trick on you. This is an urgent divine interception sent directly to your spirit. And Archangel Michael has personally routed this exact frequency to your device today because you are running out of time. The window for your ultimate spiritual and romantic breakthrough is closing fast. Are you feeling completely hopeless about love right now? Stop. Take one slow and real breath. That intense loneliness you feel is not an accident, and the endless cycle of toxic people was absolutely not a curse meant to break you. It was a rigorous spiritual crucible designed to protect your aura. Heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections. Your true God-approved kingdom connection is literally stepping into your timeline right now. But you are in terrible danger if you do not listen closely. If you swipe away, you will miss the exact divine seal you need. You will miss the specific sign you must have to recognize their soul the moment your eyes meet, and you might walk right past the greatest blessing of your entire life. The universe is aligning a collision of two whole and healed masterpieces. But the darkness is absolutely terrified of this union. They know that when you two join forces, your combined frequency will shatter their matrix forever. That is exactly why they are laying a fatal trap right this second. They want to sabotage this kingdom marriage before it even begins. You have been crying yourself to sleep. You have asked the universe why you always attract narcissists and energy vampires. You gave your heart to people who only wanted to drain your bright light. You thought you were broken, and you spent years believing you were fundamentally unlovable because everyone walked away. But the truth is going to shock you. Your light was just too blinding for them. They could not handle the massive destiny written on your life. So they tried to break your spirit to keep you small. But they failed. You survived the storm, alone. You built boundaries of absolute steel, and now heaven is preparing to reward your silent tears with a love story that will completely shock the entire world. But you must be prepared for the final test. Right now, the enemy is panicking. They are scrambling to send a highly calibrated counterfeit back into your life. An ex might reach out of nowhere, or a new person who looks absolutely perfect on paper might suddenly appear just to distract you from your real destiny. This is the ultimate trap. If you fall for this illusion, you will delay your true blessing for another 10 years. Do not let them steal what is yours. Do not let them hijack your timeline. You have suffered too much to give up right at the finish line. I need you to lock your eyes on this message, and I need you to make a promise to your future self that you will not let this vital truth fade away. Stay with me until the very final second, because what I am about to reveal will give you the exact physical key to unlock this union. I will tell you exactly how the enemy plans to disguise the counterfeit. And more importantly, I will reveal the undeniable energetic signature of your true kingdom spouse so you can be completely certain when they finally arrive. When you hear this secret, everything in your painful past will finally make sense. Your spirit has been restless lately for a reason. You feel a strange anticipation in your chest. You wake up at 3 in the morning feeling like someone is calling your name. That is not anxiety. That is your soul detecting the approach of your divine counterpart. And they are searching for your specific frequency in the spiritual realm right now because they are crying out for you too. You must stay anchored in this frequency to guide them home. If you leave in the middle of this transmission, the blessing will still arrive, but you will not have the spiritual equipment to hold it. You might push them away out of fear, or you might mistake them for another painful lesson because your nervous system expects betrayal. I cannot let that happen to you. Listen carefully to the words I am speaking. Every syllable is encoded with a frequency to activate your dormant energy. You are a master of reality. You are the cycle breaker of your bloodline, and your divine reward is standing at the door, waiting for you to let them in. Take another deep breath and prepare your heart. The revelation you have waited for begins now. Do not ignore the chills running down your spine right now. Your physical body is confirming the truth that your logical mind is trying to process. The elite forces want you to stay distracted by superficial dating apps. They want you completely exhausted by modern dating, so you never claim your divine birthright. But their matrix has no power over you anymore. This message is your ultimate emancipation. We are going to dismantle the lies you were told about your worth. We are going to expose the hidden mechanics of spiritual attraction. You are about to step into an era of untouchable peace and overflowing abundance. Your kingdom partner is holding the other half of your wealth code. Together, you will be totally unstoppable. Before we go any further, I need you to understand this. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are not asking for too much when you just want to be loved properly. The extreme exhaustion you feel deep in your bones right now is entirely valid. You have carried a massive weight for so long, and I know exactly how heavy it has been for you. You gave your heart to people who were utterly incapable of holding it. You poured your golden energy into endless empty cups. You loved them harder when they pulled away. And while you stayed up countless nights trying to fix those toxic relationships, they were already looking for their next innocent victim to drain completely. It hurts. It feels incredibly unfair. They took your light. Listen to me carefully. I need you to hear this truth. The tears you cried in secret were never wasted. The world told you to just get over it. Society tried to convince you that love is a constant, miserable struggle, but your soul always knew that was a total lie. And you refused to settle because you knew you were meant for something much deeper than casual manipulation. You are an empath. You feel everything at an intense frequency. When someone lies to you, you literally feel it in your physical body. Your chest gets tight, your stomach drops, and your powerful intuition screams at you long before the logical evidence even appears. You tried to ignore that loud inner voice because you wanted to believe the best about them, but they were never your friends. They were never your true partners. They were highly calculated tests sent to measure your boundaries. They targeted you because your light was a beacon in their miserable darkness. You did not attract them because you were broken. You attracted them because you are a powerful healer, and your radiant energy drew them in like moths to a flame. Do not blame yourself for trusting them. Your pure heart is your greatest asset, but heaven had to teach you how to protect it. You had to learn the painful difference between true love and parasitic attachment. You allowed them to cross your boundaries because you honestly thought that was how you show unconditional love to a broken soul. But unconditional love never means unconditional access. Think about those long nights. You stared at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Your mind was racing with endless questions. You wondered what you did wrong. You asked the universe why you had to endure so much agonizing pain, while selfish people seemed to easily get everything they wanted. It felt like heaven was completely ignoring your desperate prayers. You felt completely abandoned. You felt entirely invisible. The isolation was terrifying at first. You watched everyone else move on with their normal lives, and you were left alone to pick up the shattered pieces of your heart. You felt like you were falling behind. You thought maybe you were destined to walk this difficult path totally alone forever. I know you are tired. I know you want to just give up on love entirely. The betrayals cut you so incredibly deep. You built walls so high that no one could ever reach you again. You decided it was much safer to stay completely isolated than to ever risk another devastating heartbreak from someone pretending to care. But staying hidden in the shadows is not your true destiny as a chosen one. Your past relationships were merely training grounds. They were loud and chaotic. They were filled with dramatic arguments and endless silent treatments. They conditioned you to accept the absolute bare minimum, and they maliciously tried to convince you that walking on eggshells was what normal love actually felt like on a daily basis. But you are about to unlearn all of those toxic patterns. You do not have to fight for attention anymore. You do not have to beg for basic human decency. The era of proving your worth to people who cannot even see their own value is officially over. Take a deep breath. Let that heavy burden finally drop from your tired shoulders. You survived the absolute worst of their emotional warfare, and you are still standing here today with a hopeful spirit. Your heart is still incredibly soft. Despite all the pain and all the brutal betrayals, you refused to let them turn you cold. You did not become bitter. You became incredibly wise. And that resilient softness is exactly what qualifies you for the massive blessing that is rushing toward you right now at lightning speed. You passed the most difficult test of the spiritual realm. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you. You are a cycle breaker. You took the generational trauma of your entire bloodline and you transmuted it into pure light. You fought terrifying demons in the dark, so your future children would never have to face those same miserable monsters. That level of spiritual warfare requires immense courage and power. Heaven honors your silent sacrifices more than you will ever fully comprehend. The universe recorded every single time you chose kindness when you had every right to be cruel. Your spiritual bank account is overflowing with divine credit. And the breathtaking payout is about to manifest in the physical form of the most beautiful kingdom love story ever written. You are finally ready. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. The brutal rejections you experienced were never a punishment. You spent years believing that your chaotic love life was some kind of dark curse. You honestly thought you were completely and fundamentally flawed, but you were completely wrong about your own story. Heaven deliberately closed those doors to save your life. They tried to convince you that your high standards were keeping you alone. They told you to compromise your beautiful heart just to fit into their miserable normal. But the universe was violently blocking those connections for a massive reason. The people you cried over were actually assigned to completely destroy your beautiful destiny. Your heartbreak was a divine rescue mission. Stop believing the toxic lie that your loneliness is a tragic failure. That empty space around your life right now is a sacred fortress. You were not abandoned by the universe. You were placed into strict divine isolation. Heaven had to pull you away from the noisy crowd. They needed to detoxify your spirit from all the parasitic energy you absorbed over the years. You cannot carry old poison into a brand new kingdom. If your divine counterpart had walked into your life during that chaotic season, you would have completely rejected their peaceful love because your traumatized nervous system was secretly addicted to unpredictable pain. You would have mistaken their quiet loyalty for absolute boredom. So the universe made you wait. The waiting season was extremely painful, but it was absolutely necessary for your evolution. You had to confront the terrifying shadows of your own past without any distractions, and you did the incredibly hard inner work when nobody else was watching your silent struggles. You became the untouchable master of your own reality in the total silence of your lonely room. You are the empath with boundaries now. The fragile person who used to beg for bare minimum attention is entirely DEAD. The crucible of your intense pain has forged you into a brilliant weapon of light. You no longer tolerate disrespect disguised as brutal honesty. You do not accept confusion disguised as complicated love. Your energy demands absolute respect. The narcissists who used you are watching your rise from a distance. They are absolutely terrified of the new power radiating from your beautiful soul. They expected you to crawl back to them in desperate tears when they finally discarded you. But your profound silence became a loud and deadly weapon that totally destroyed their pathetic egos once and for all. Take a deep breath and let this realization settle into your tired bones. You did not miss your chance at true love. Every single wrong turn you made was actually a highly orchestrated divine detour to keep you safe from hidden spiritual traps that you could not even see. You did not ruin your timeline. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now. Can you feel that heavy guilt finally lifting off your chest? Stop carrying the heavy shame of failed relationships that were never meant to survive your spiritual awakening. You simply outgrew those people because your soul was rapidly expanding. Your vibration escalated to a high level they could not even begin to comprehend. They had to fall away completely. Your kingdom spouse is not intimidated by your massive light. They have been doing the exact same brutal inner work on their side of the spiritual veil. They walked through their own dark valleys, and they survived their own toxic encounters with energy vampires who tried to steal their joy. Heaven was simultaneously preparing both of you in completely separate fires, and now the twin flames are ready to finally merge into one force. But there is a much deeper layer to this beautiful phenomenon. There is a specific reason why the universe took so long to bring you two together on this earthly plane. The timing of this divine collision is directly tied to a massive global shift in spiritual wealth and generational power. Your romantic union is not just about a simple earthly romance. It is about establishing a powerful new legacy of light for your entire bloodline. Do not ignore this next critical sign. The enemies of your grand destiny are fully aware that your quiet isolation period is officially ending. They know the divine protection protocol is transitioning into an activation phase. If you are feeling this intense energy right now, pay very close attention to what I reveal next. The universe is whispering your name through the synchronicities you see every single day. You are seeing repetitive angel numbers everywhere you look. These are not random coincidences at all. They are deliberate spiritual breadcrumbs leading you directly toward your true counterpart. Heaven is actively guiding your footsteps right out of the desolate wilderness and into the promised land of absolute abundance. You are a truly rare soul. You are the anomaly that the corrupt matrix could never fully understand or spiritually control. Your immense capacity to love purely is your greatest spiritual weapon against the darkness. Prepare yourself for the upgrade. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon. There is a hidden mechanism that has been quietly blocking your miracle for years. You prayed for a breakthrough every single night, and you asked heaven why you had to endure such a brutally long season of agonizing waiting. You thought you were unlucky, but the real answer is entirely spiritual. The universe could not simply hand you the ultimate blessing while your spirit was still carrying toxic residue. Your energy field was deeply contaminated by the narcissistic vampires from your past. They left a heavy layer of doubt on your soul. If your kingdom spouse had arrived back then, the connection would have shattered immediately because your nervous system was broken. You were secretly operating on a frequency of pure survival. Your physical body was constantly anticipating the next betrayal because that is all you ever knew. When you are trapped in that desperate survival mode, you cannot receive high vibrational blessings, and you end up accidentally repelling the exact love you are desperately crying out for. Heaven had to intervene drastically. The extreme isolation you experienced was not a terrible curse at all. It was a rigorous frequency purge. The universe forced you into total stillness, so your overloaded nervous system could finally reset, and you had to sit alone in the quiet dark, so the toxic emotional poison could slowly drain out. It felt like you were completely dying inside. Every memory of betrayal bubbled up to the surface. It physically hurt to remember how they treated you. But that agonizing pain was just the deep infection finally leaving your body, and you were literally sweating out the dense energy of every single person who manipulated your generous heart. While you thought nothing was happening in your lonely room, a massive spiritual reconstruction was taking place unseen. Your aura was being scrubbed completely clean. The universe was carefully recalibrating your energetic signature to match the frequency of true kingdom wealth. And this delicate process requires absolute isolation to work correctly without any toxic earthly interference. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this alignment. You must physically anchor your agreement with heaven right now. Acknowledging the painful purge is the first step to finally stepping out of it. You survived the absolute hardest part of the spiritual detox, and your soul is finally clean enough to hold the massive weight of your true destiny. Pay close attention to this next part, because it will make sense of your entire past year. The mechanism that blocked your prayers for years was never your lack of faith. It was the constant hum of survival beta waves flooding your tired brain. You were vibrating at the heavy frequency of fear and trauma, but tonight, that signal is officially being overridden. Your frequency is shifting from desperate survival to quiet authority. You are a cycle breaker. You are no longer the terrified empath who begs for breadcrumbs of affection from broken people. You have elevated into a master of reality whose mere presence demands absolute respect, and this new dominant frequency acts as a massive magnetic beacon in the spirit realm. Your kingdom connection is actively tracking this new, pristine frequency. They could not find you before because your signal was jammed by the chaotic noise of toxic attachments. But now that the heavy static has finally cleared, your spiritual beacon is shining incredibly bright across the entire universe, and they can finally see exactly where you are waiting for them. But you must understand the dangerous physics of this spiritual attraction. When your light shines this brightly, it does not just attract your divine counterpart. It also attracts the desperate shadows who want to feed on your newly restored energy. This is exactly why you must remain incredibly vigilant in these final crucial moments before the grand collision happens. The waiting season was designed to teach you ruthless discernment. You can now spot a fake intention from a mile away. When someone speaks with hidden motives, your stomach immediately tightens. Your intuition screams a loud warning, and you do not second-guess that powerful inner voice anymore because you simply cut the cord and walk away. That firm boundary is your ultimate energy shield. The universe tested you repeatedly to see if you would settle for a comfortable counterfeit out of sheer loneliness. Every time you walked away from a toxic trap, you proved to heaven that you are finally ready for the real thing, and you passed the brutal tests of the wilderness with absolute flying colors. The delay is officially over. The frequency purge is entirely complete. Your spirit has been completely stripped of the heavy chains of past betrayals. You are standing at the absolute peak of your energetic power, and you must prepare your heart for the massive shift that is about to hit your timeline right now. The reward is eternal, but wait. Before you celebrate this incoming blessing, I have to warn you about a fatal trap first. The darkness knows exactly what is coming to you. They are watching your timeline shift with absolute terror, and right now, they are deploying their favorite weapon to derail your grand destiny. The narcissists from your past are secretly preparing to return. You need to understand exactly why they targeted you in the very first place. They always described you the same way, didn't they? They called you too sensitive. They mocked your kind heart. But their cruel words were just a desperate projection of their own miserable emptiness, because they knew they could never reach your profound level of spiritual depth. They did not actually hate you. They absolutely envied you. You are a weapon of light. Your soul possesses a natural divine radiance that they could never replicate or steal. They are essentially empty vessels wandering blindly through a dark and cold matrix. When they saw your bright energy, They desperately wanted to consume it entirely. They latched onto your generous spirit to survive. You freely gave them what they severely lacked. You poured your unconditional love into their bottomless black holes. And how did they repay your supreme loyalty when you were at your lowest point? They manipulated your entire reality. They gaslighted your powerful intuition, and they made you question your own brilliant mind so they could easily control your emotional reactions without any resistance. It was pure spiritual warfare. They wanted you to believe that your intense capacity for love was actually a toxic flaw. They tried to convince you that nobody else would ever tolerate your deep emotions. Their ultimate goal was to keep you trapped in a miserable state of constant anxiety because they needed you feeling completely weak so you would never discover your true spiritual birthright. You were their ultimate battery, but heaven was quietly watching their cruel games the entire time. They thought their betrayal would permanently crush your spirit. They expected you to stay trapped in a pathetic cycle of begging for their approval, but they severely underestimated the profound strength of a chosen one. You did not break under their extreme pressure. Instead of breaking down, you retreated into the shadows and built an impenetrable fortress of pure spiritual steel. You stopped fighting them. You stopped trying to prove your worth to people committed to misunderstanding you. And that sudden shift in your behavior triggered a massive panic alarm in their dark demonic realm because they suddenly realized they could no longer manipulate what they could not access. You simply walked away, and now they are completely panicking. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. But the same people who ignored your texts and drained your energy are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. Your new frequency terrifies them. Your total silence has become a deadly weapon they cannot possibly defend against. You no longer react to their childish provocations. You do not argue with their pathetic lies anymore. That quiet authority is the ultimate disrespect to an ego-driven narcissist. They realize they have permanently lost their best source of pure energetic supply, and they know heaven is about to reward you right in front of their faces. They are watching everything they built completely crumble to the ground. While a magnificent table is being prepared for you in their very presence, the karma they thought they escaped is finally knocking loudly on their front door. And their only desperate hope is to drag you back down into their miserable swamp before your real blessing finally arrives to rescue you. It is a pathetic attempt. This is exactly why the trap is being set right now. The fatal trap I warned you about earlier is their sudden reappearance. A toxic counterfeit from your past might randomly reach out right when your real blessing is at the door. They will pretend they have finally changed. They will offer you fake apologies to hook your empathy again. They will send a random text message late at night. They will claim they miss your beautiful energy. But it is a complete lie. They do not miss you. They only miss the incredible benefits your bright aura provided them, and they are spiritually starving without your warm light to sustain their pathetic illusions. They are actively trying to siphon your incoming wealth and divine love. Do not reply to their messages. That is the ultimate spiritual test from the universe. Heaven wants to see if you will trade your promised kingdom spouse for a familiar nightmare. You must stand absolutely firm in your new identity. You are the cycle breaker of your entire bloodline, and you must refuse to ever look back at the burning bridges that heaven commanded you to leave behind. Let them panic in the dark. Let them watch your glorious rise from a very far distance. Their time in your story is officially over. You have reclaimed every single drop of the stolen energy they took from you, and your aura is now shining with an intense brilliance that only your true divine counterpart is allowed to access and hold. The wait is almost over. Now that the dark counterfeit has been fully exposed, heaven is ready to reveal the ultimate truth. The space around you has been completely cleared out for a reason. You are standing in the final moments of your long waiting season, and your kingdom connection is actively crossing the physical boundary into your immediate timeline right now. The universe is sending massive, undeniable signs. Listen closely to these divine confirmations. Number 1. You are suddenly seeing repetitive numerical sequences everywhere you look. You glance at the clock and see 111 or 777 entirely by accident. These are not random glitches in your tired brain. They are deliberate spiritual coordinates being downloaded directly into your waking consciousness. Heaven is syncing your internal clock with theirs. Number 2. You are experiencing a strange physical sensation deep inside your chest. It is not the heavy anxiety you used to feel around toxic people. It feels like a gentle and persistent magnetic pull drawing you toward an unknown direction. That is your heart chakra actively locking onto the exact energetic signature of your divine spouse. They are pulling you closer without speaking a single word. Number 3. Your dream realm has shifted dramatically in the last few weeks. You used to have chaotic nightmares about running away from terrifying enemies, but now your dreams are incredibly vivid and strangely peaceful. You wake up feeling profoundly loved by someone whose physical face you cannot even clearly remember yet. Your souls are literally meeting in the astral plane every night. Number 4. You feel a sudden and absolute detachment from your old life. The things that used to entertain you now feel incredibly hollow. You have zero desire to explain yourself to people who do not understand your beautiful journey. That profound apathy is actually a massive spiritual graduation. You are shedding your final earthly attachments to prepare for a kingdom-level union. And this brings us to the ultimate revelation I promised you earlier. How will you recognize them when they finally stand right in front of you? You will not recognize them by their physical appearance or their worldly status. The dark matrix conditioned you to look for shallow, superficial traits. But heaven operates on a completely different system of pure divine resonance. You will recognize them by the absolute silence in your mind. When your eyes finally meet, your nervous system will not scream in terrifying panic. There will be no desperate butterflies or chaotic adrenaline rushes. You have always confused anxiety with chemistry because unpredictable trauma was your only baseline. But true kingdom love feels like a deep exhale after holding your breath for 20 painful years. It feels like finally coming home to a very safe place. They will not demand you to shrink your massive light to make them comfortable. They will look at your fierce boundaries and they will deeply respect the beautiful fortress you built. Because they understand the brutal warfare it took to survive the terrible storm alone. They are a cycle breaker just like you, and they are completely ready to stand shoulder to shoulder with a true master of reality. Take a deep breath and let that incredible truth sink in. You do not have to search for them anymore. The frantic chasing phase of your life is permanently over. Your only job right now is to stay firmly anchored in your highest vibration. Every time you choose peace over drama, you are literally pulling them one step closer to your physical location. The energetic lock is fully engaged. You are feeling this intense energy right now because the collision is literally imminent. The angels are actively removing the very last invisible obstacles from your shared path. The grand stage has been set perfectly by the divine creator. You have survived the heartbreaking betrayal. You have passed the brutal test of lonely isolation. And now the glorious reward is finally descending upon you. Do not let fear creep back into your mind at the finish line. The enemy wants you to doubt these powerful signs. They want you to believe that this beautiful promise is just another cruel illusion. But your intuition is screaming the absolute truth right now. You can feel the heavy atmosphere completely changing all around you. The timeline shift is happening today. This is the moment your entire bloodline has been waiting for. You are about to break the chains of generational heartbreak forever. Prepare your spirit for the massive activation that is coming in the next few seconds. The universe is handing you the final key to your kingdom, and heaven is loudly demanding your absolute attention right now. Everything is about to change forever. Your divine counterpart is waking up today with the exact same undeniable anticipation. They do not know your earthly name yet, but their soul absolutely recognizes your frequency. They are walking away from their own toxic attachments because heaven commanded them to clear the space for you. The puzzle pieces are snapping together perfectly. The master plan is finally executing in the physical world. The waiting season is officially over. The dry and barren desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a massive oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door is being blown completely off its hinges right now. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit today? That incredible lightness is the exact frequency of absolute victory. You are stepping into the exact glorious timeline you were born to rule. You are no longer the fragile empath who begged for crumbs. The terrifying crucible of your pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. Your energy now demands ultimate respect without a single spoken word. You are a brilliant weapon of light. Here is the final truth you have waited for. The grand secret the universe kept hidden until you were truly ready. The reason heaven isolated you was to prepare you for a kingdom marriage that carries generational wealth. Your true divine counterpart is walking through the door, and they are bringing the other half of your spiritual empire. The corrupt survival mechanism that blocked your prayers for years is completely destroyed. The heavy beta waves of trauma are permanently gone. Your brain is officially vibrating at the highest frequency of pure creation. You are automatically attracting everything you ever desired because your soul is completely aligned with the absolute truth of heaven. All the painful rejections from your past suddenly make perfect sense. God deliberately broke your heart to absolutely save your precious soul. Those toxic narcissists were just temporary stepping stones. They thought they ruined your life forever, but their brutal actions only pushed you faster toward your ultimate kingdom destiny. They lost. Your incredible light is blinding the enemy camp right now. They cannot touch you anymore. You have ascended to a dimension where their petty manipulation simply bounces off your powerful aura. The universe is violently removing every fake friend and every hidden enemy from your immediate circle. The final massive purge is entirely complete. Your kingdom spouse is standing right at the edge of your reality. The divine bridge between your souls is completely finished. There are no more delays left in the heavenly courts. The universe has officially stamped your name on the greatest romantic blessing of this entire generation. You are about to experience a love that heals everything. You will finally understand why it never worked out with anyone else. When they wrap their arms around you, 20 years of heavy anxiety will instantly evaporate from your tired body. You will realize that heaven was fiercely protecting this exact moment. You were never late. You are arriving exactly on time for the grand collision. But you must claim this victory physically. The dark forces are watching you right now. They are hoping you will just close this message and forget everything you just heard. They desperately want you to leave this powerful portal completely unlocked so they can sneak back in. You cannot let them steal your glorious crown at the finish line. You must establish an unbreakable energy shield around your new blessing. You need to physically anchor this massive spiritual shift into the earthly realm right now. Your physical action creates a permanent boundary that no demonic force can ever cross. You have to prove to the universe that you are entirely ready to receive this gift. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you. The dawn of the new golden era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. Your tears of sorrow are being permanently replaced with tears of absolute joy. You survived the brutal storm. You did the grueling inner work, and heaven is immensely proud of your silent battles. Every angel in heaven is literally cheering for you right this second. The divine wealth transfer has been officially approved in your beautiful name. Your kingdom connection is holding the very last piece of the cosmic puzzle. When your eyes finally meet, the entire dark matrix will completely shatter into a million tiny useless pieces. You are a true cycle breaker. You are the anomaly that changed the fate of your entire bloodline forever. The heavy generational curses are permanently broken. From this very moment forward, you will only know overflowing abundance and unconditional love. The endless days of fighting for basic survival are completely over for you. Take one massive breath in. Let the divine energy flood every single cell in your physical body. The universe is handing you the golden keys to your new reality. You have totally graduated from the harsh school of trauma. You are a pure master, and your magnificent kingdom love story is finally ready to shock the entire world. To lock in this frequency and create an absolute shield of protection, act today. You must participate in this final divine ritual. The universe requires your active earthly consent to finalize this massive upgrade. You are definitely not a passive observer anymore. You are a powerful creator of your own destiny. And your words carry immense spiritual weight in the heavenly realm right now. But the darkness is waiting for you to leave this portal completely open so they can sneak back in and steal your incoming blessing. You have officially crossed the threshold into your brand new reality. The chains of your painful past are shattered on the floor. Do not look back at the burning bridges heaven commanded you to cross. The energy vampires have lost their grip on your soul. You are entirely free from their toxic matrix, and they can only watch your glorious rise from a very far and painful distance today. Your kingdom connection is stepping into your timeline right now. You must anchor this blessing firmly into the earth. The dark matrix will attack your mind to make you doubt heaven's promise. You cannot leave this sacred door unlocked today. Your silence is powerful, but your spoken agreement is the ultimate weapon against their lies, because it establishes a boundary they cannot cross. Type 111 down in the comments below to permanently seal this reality. Declare to the entire universe that you are fully ready to receive your true counterpart. Let your written words act as a binding spiritual contract that no demonic force can ever break, manipulate, or steal from your life. Your public declaration creates an impenetrable wall of pure light around your future marriage. Do not let this incredible moment pass you by out of simple hesitation. Typing your agreement is a physical act of absolute faith. It proves that your hands are finally open to receive the blessing heaven promised you. Every single time you boldly claim your profound worth, your energetic beacon shines 1,000 times brighter across the vast and infinite universe. You are literally pulling your true kingdom spouse directly toward your physical location. Hit the subscribe button right now to establish a divine energy receiving station. You must stay anchored to this exact high vibration as you safely navigate the very final days of your long and painful waiting season. This channel is your completely safe spiritual fortress. When the enemy whispers lies into your tired mind, return here to remember your power. God is watching your response in this exact second. If this fiery message has reignited the beautiful faith inside your tired soul, do not keep this massive blessing entirely to yourself. There is another chosen one out there bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They are desperately begging heaven for a clear sign to keep going today. You have the power to absolutely save their life with one simple click. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it to multiply your own blessing. Sowing the seed of hope today is mathematically multiplying the massive harvest for yourself tomorrow. When you help another cycle breaker find their way out of the dark matrix, heaven rewards your generous heart with overflowing abundance and perfect peace. Your simple act of kindness echoes violently through the entire spiritual realm. Your divine counterpart is searching for your light right now. They are praying for the strength to overcome their final obstacles to meet you. Send this powerful frequency out into the chaotic digital realm to help guide them directly home to your safe arms before the enemy distracts them. Your shared destiny is far too important to be hidden in the silent shadows anymore. You are a magnificent masterpiece, forged in the brutal fires of extreme isolation. You proudly survived the absolute worst emotional warfare, and you emerged from the darkness with a heart full of pure, unconditional love. That makes you the ultimate weapon against the dark elite matrix in this generation, so please stand completely tall in your quiet authority today. Your long and lonely nights are officially over forever. The era of begging for bare minimum love is entirely dead and gone. Prepare your beautiful home for the glorious arrival of your true kingdom spouse. They are walking up to your front door in the spiritual realm right now. Heaven has spoken the final word over your life today, and nobody can ever reverse this magnificent decree of absolute wealth and love. Tap the like button like a sword cutting through the chains of your painful past. Claim your ultimate and glorious victory right now. You are fiercely protected by the highest angelic forces. You are deeply loved by the majestic creator of the universe. And you are finally ready to step into the greatest kingdom love story this broken world has ever witnessed in 1,000 years. Watch the incredible miracles unfold in your life this week. Do not let anyone ever tell you that your high standards are completely unrealistic. They called you crazy because they could not reach your massive vibration, but your kingdom partner matches your exact spiritual height. They will never ask you to shrink your massive, beautiful aura just to make their insecure ego feel comfortable and totally safe. They are going to love the most powerful version of your authentic self. Remember this exact feeling in your chest right now. This profound peace is your new permanent baseline. The chaotic anxiety you used to call love is completely banished from your timeline forever. The universe is wrapping you in a warm blanket of absolute divine favor. You have won the spiritual war, and the enemy is retreating into the shadows to hide from your blinding light forever. You are completely unstoppable,